16 GM playing against a bronze 5. Yeah.
This person has 100 MMR. I don't know how, but they have 100.
No, it's been pretty good. Pretty fair. So we're gonna get into this first game here of Loke versus Izytang. ZVT. Izytang known for his 2-base marine tank builds.
Yeah, he really loves going for 2-base marine tank.
Yeah, and last time I saw him play, he was doing this 3 racks opener into CC, I believe, but I'm not sure if he's still doing that.
Yeah, he's since stopped doing that one.
Okay.
I hope at least. So he may prove me wrong, but hopefully he has learned. I have a little bit of a friendly banter going between the two of them. They're good friends.
Oh yes,
this is a rivalry in the making here. These two, every single event, constantly going at each other.
Yeah.
I believe Loki finally overtook Izytang as well as far as their record goes.
Yep. All right, let's do some player introductions.
Player introductions. All right, starting in the top left, we have the Terran in blue, Izytang. BFF.
And in the bottom right, we have our yellow Zerg. It is Loki. And the game started off pretty standard. We only have 1 racks thus far. It's nothing crazy.
And he's not going to suddenly throw out a bunch of racks. Hopefully, please don't do that. In StarCraft, there are no friends.
There are only enemies. Terrans are evil.
Never trust a Terran.
The swarm is not the swarm. Yeah, but we have a little bit of scouting going on here. We have a pretty standard opener for Loki, pretty standard opener for Izytang. I'd expect to see CC next out of Izytang after this, and I would also expect to see a third hatch, fairly shortly here from Loki. Probably around 20 supply for both of them.
Yeah, Loki will probably hold off just in case. He does know that Izytang does enjoy a little bit of Reaper, trying to go for some cheesiness, but thankfully this game around we're not going to be seeing that.
Yeah, it's a little bit funny. We saw Reactor before CC, which is a little bit different. If it's going to be Reapers, that's kind of cool, I guess. But
yeah, that'd be interesting.
I feel like you'd build the first Reaper at the very least.
Yeah, definitely. He probably just proved me completely wrong and going to go for something completely out of left field.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely going to be a factory thrown on here shortly, and we're probably going to see a third racks. But at least it's in the right order this time.
This time, it's not immediate 3 racks, so we have improvement.
Yeah. Yep. And on the other side of the map, we have Loki doing pretty different things. He's actually just gonna, 1-base Roach. He's not 2-base Roach.
Going up to Roach already. This is interesting.
Yeah.
I know he has been kind of leaning on his Roach Ravager rush that he's been very proud of. Got him up to plat. But he said, and I quote, "I am feeling the pain of doing that. I can't beat anyone in an actual game anymore in Plat League." So we'll see if he actually pulls that out. I know these two are known for having some long sets.
Yeah, long sets, cheesy games. That's what we're about to see here. But yeah, I mean, there's no production from Loki, which is a little bit weird. He did get roaches and then decided to get more drones. Not a bad decision, just a different decision.
I agree with getting drones. I do agree with going for drones, but
yeah. Oh, there are some roaches. There's a couple, not too terribly many, and we also have this reactor. I think it's a reactor.
We have Tech Labs going down on the factory. Starport's coming down as well. Honestly, I have no idea which direction he's going to go right now.
I know that Izytang likes Banshees.
He does like his Banshees.
So there are going to be Banshees. There's definitely going to be a few tanks. The one thing that I had a chat with him about was, maybe building some medvacs. Medvacs are a pretty powerful unit when combined with Stim Marines. And he seemed open to the idea, so that's a good thing.
So we'll see if he actually takes the advice.
Yeah.
Relatively soon as that Starport finishes up.
Yeah, but in terms of worker count, I mean, they're both macroing relatively equally. I mean, they're just about the same worker count. I'd expect to see maybe a few more drones from Loki, and, we do see that. But comparatively, their economies are fairly similar. Mules make up a lot of that difference in worker count, so it's not too big a deal.
The Baneling Nest is also going down for Loki.
Yeah, we do have Baneling Nest, and we do have this little roach push going across the map. I don't think he's going to try and kill him here. This isn't a kill him for us.
This definitely is not going to do any killing as far as ending a game goes, and I'm pretty sure it'll get shooed away by that little siege tank that he has just chilling up there at his ramp.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming there is a siege tank.
Yes, there was one in the production, so hopefully it is sieged up.
It is there. It's somewhere.
There he is. All right,
He's gonna get there.
He's just trucking along. Let's see him go ahead and siege up right there.
All right, sieged up,
There
ready
we
to go. Rose eaten, as they say.
And we have the Ravagers coming out. That could help him out, but he needs to be able to get that high ground vision to take out that siege tank.
Yep, but I mean, we have a little bit of oversaturation on Loki's end. I think his third is done. He should be switching those O's over fairly soon. And just kind of as a general timing, I'd imagine by about 6:30 we should be seeing a fourth if he's keeping up with his macro.
That is a early command center for his third, and in a weird position.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange. I still don't see any
Has been seen.
medvacs. I still don't see any medvacs, which is a little bit concerning. There should be some. He is getting an engineering bay. The one of the things I discussed with him is maybe potentially getting some engineering bay stuff and potentially getting some upgrades because he seems to be a little bit lax on that. But I think he's definitely macroing way better than last I saw him.
Yes, definitely. And it looks like there's a big, giant group of drones that's just been made for Loki. Gonna go ahead and saturate that right up.
And he's got full saturation. I'd expect to see just a tremendous push out of Izytang very shortly here because I think he's cut pretty hard. I don't think that's not
going to do anything.
That's not what I was referring to.
This was a very delayed attack. I don't necessarily think that was a good idea. This will not trade that well.
It did actually do okay. He's gonna get a
he's gonna get a tank. He snipes the tank.
He's gonna get a tank for a Ravager and a Roach, and he did get I think 4 Marines.
It's
with
a pretty good trade actually.
Yeah, with the bio. So
I stand corrected.
Yeah, I think it's I mean for the decision that it was, I think it's absolutely a really good thing. I'm not gonna bash that. I think that's fantastic.
The Liberator. He does love this Liberator. Just be that little bit of a pain.
Yep. And
just constantly poking in and out of your expansions.
It gives him enough vision to knock that Overlord off its ledge, so that he can get a little bit better positioning. On the other side of this, we have a planetary on the third, which is
finally been spotted as well.
Which is
so
interesting.
I wonder if he's going to punish that at all.
Yep. And both of them, I mean, they're both floating a lot of money. I mean, Loki has the fantastic economy. He's in a really good spot, but he has to just make sure that he does, in fact, max out, that he gets the supply, because he's got the money for it. I think right now he could probably hit 170 supply if he spent his money, but I think he's currently, larva blocked.
I know he did mention that is something that he has been struggling with as well.
Yep. So we do have 2 pushes here. We have a push in the third. We also have that counter pressure in his main. Liberator getting 4 drones, 5 drones. It's going to keep getting worse. Probably going to get up to probably 9, maybe 10. And I think he's going to lose. Oh, he did, in fact, lose the orbital.
Planetary goes down. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, 10
this
drones.
Is still getting more. It's killing those larvae.
Oh man, that is a disgusting amount of damage for very little investment. He didn't even lose much of his army.
16 kills on that Liberator. These Ravagers are probably gonna get.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a miss micro. It's not too bad, but the main loss here that I'm seeing right now that's gonna really hurt Loki is his inability to spend his money. Because he definitely has to supply. He should be winning this game handily right now, but he has not spent his money. He's got enough money to build a fleet of Lings that can take on a battle cruiser. But you know,
be something to see.
Yeah, they just jumping off each other. But unfortunately,
be like the World War Z zombies climbing all over each other.
Exactly, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's going to work out too well.
Liberator takes out another queen.
That is dangerous. And then Izzy's really good at getting these positions. This is a fantastic position for
this is great. He should be able to just pick this off really easily.
And I mean, if we compare army supplies, he's got 60 army supply to 13. This is going to hurt like nothing else. So he's going to get that base for free, and if Izzy keeps pushing, this game is over. The macro for Loki was absolutely there in terms of getting to the macro position, but subsequently spending it just wasn't there.
Well, you have a nice little bit of Lings. They're going to go ahead.
They might get 1 tank, maybe they might get both.
Oh.
No,
No, it's not. There too many Marines.
Yeah, but that was a
good idea. That was a really good idea.
Yeah.
Sitting there on 15 health.
Yeah, the main thing is he's queen short, right? So he has no larva. His third may not have a queen. His second does not. And a lot of that is due to that Liberator harass in combination with, maybe just missing a queen here or there.
Absolutely. And he could just go ahead and make a bunch of queens out of that. He has the money for it.
Yeah, he has the money. He has the supply to be able to do that. But as Todd would say, look at the supply.
The supply.
The supply is too low.
The supply deficit. Oh, the stutter step off those Marines.
Yeah, the stutter step.
That's actually getting a pretty good amount of Marines with each hit.
Yeah, I mean, that was surprisingly
That
damaging.
that did a lot. Oh, and the last
And
one comes in
the
out of
last
left
one,
field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately the medvacs weren't with the Marines. If he had them, he might have been able to save them a little bit. But this is a tremendous force coming in.
This
next.
really is. This is going to get very dangerous, and I do find it interesting that he was going for the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't know why he built them. I think
I don't believe there is a Spire on the play, so
yeah, he definitely took my advice in building medvacs. He might actually build too many. I think it'd be a really good idea for him to throw down maybe a couple more barracks.
yeah, I would like to see if he's going to go for the Marine tank style. Definitely get some more barracks, just so you can keep churning out as many Marines as you can.
Yeah, I think maybe like 2 factories and a barracks. I don't know what he's got in his main. Maybe production can give us a look over at his main. He's got 1 factory,
2 barracks,
off to 3.
Starport.
Yeah, and that's
And he is adding
armory.
1 barracks and.
Yep. So
right
he's
now,
on on 3 racks, one factory, and he definitely could support way more than
These
that.
siege tanks are just going to go ahead and get in position and just
Yeah.
start obliterating.
Yeah, this is a nasty position for Izytang to be in. I mean, if
Lings are coming in from behind though, they might. Oh, he's going to
some
transform into.
Banelings, if he gets a good concave here, I can imagine he can hold this force. But that's a lot of medvacs, it's a lot of Marines. The tank count is pretty good. The one problem there is that they're not really spread apart that well, so you're getting a lot of secondary splash damage on those Marines, and you saw that. You heard a Marine die. This is going to be another push. This is where maybe that split on those tanks would be great, but it doesn't really matter. Those Banelings
The
don't do
Banelings
anything.
did nothing.
Oof.
This is looking pretty painful.
Yeah, and
25 workers to 57 now.
And if we compare the losses, you can
It's just-
see the amount of resource
Yeah.
lost.
Almost 10,000 resources lost.
Yeah, it is a disgusting amount of damage.
I definitely did enjoy though seeing the production that he had at the beginning with all of those drones getting up there. It's just like you said, he needs to spin more efficiently.
I mean, I think the main thing is spending it all would
Yeah.
be really helpful because, to be in this position where you see, oh, I have 5K minerals,
That was a good
and that's
pickup.
a pretty cool pickup there. That's a
A little
really
bit of
sick
fanciness
micro.
right there.
Is he breaking the barriers of gold? I think he's gold still. Yes.
Yes, he is.
All right, breaking those barriers. This is some high level play. I'm excited. I'm sitting here. I'm getting amped
I'm
up.
hyped.
I got nerd.
Oh, and he snipes it.
Yeah, I got nerd chills, tasteless. Yeah, I mean,
It's wishful thinking. But
he's still gonna get a couple of tanks here. He did get all the tanks. I mean, that's still a victory for him.
I also like the little infested Terran just sitting there shooting this little rocket launcher, trying to take out that Viking.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna lose another base. Unfortunately, he does have a fourth.
He has a hidden.
He has another base. It's there, but at this point, I mean, really the main difference here is that this is a army supply loss for sure.
Absolutely.
He definitely could have
Oh,
held.
the Banelings waddling in.
Waddling and no speed, unfortunately. He can definitely afford it.
Yeah.
But
I almost think he
still
I almost
picks
think
up
he
the
tunnel vision.
Vikings.
He did the Viking drop. Yes.
Oh, this is sick.
Oh, I'm so glad
These
he
are
just
some
did
plays. If anyone doesn't know, Vikings actually do slightly more DPS than a stimmed Marine, but they are also much larger, and
that. You can't fit 4 of them in a
They-
medevac.
they do have a higher supply. So they're slightly better than a single Marine, but they can't be healed by medvacs. There's many bad things about that. But for a pinch, they do definitely well.
So you can actually make that medevac able to heal it while it's inside there. You put 2 SCVs
That's
in
true.
auto
You-
repair,
you can
and you can have a healing medevac for mech.
That's
It's hilarious. It's wonky, but it's fun.
a thing.
For
But
some reason, they decided to put that in the game, and I am not going to complain.
if the other thing on the side of the map is that, Izytang has this tremendous force. I mean, absolutely. The only critique I could really give here is if he started attacking and it was a little bit more consistent. He tried to keep his army together and held together. He'd be in a much better position.
He also
But-
still has those Vikings in the medevac.
That's fine. They're there to help.
Yeah, they're here.
They're helping, as we say. But definitely, I mean, he can just crush them. He can just crush Loki right now. But
Absolutely.
he has to position himself well.
Well, he is going to see this nice little trail of creep spread. He'd be like, hey, there's something up here, I think. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, your base.
Yeah, and I will absolutely say Izzy is definitely keeping up his macro. I mean, it's not grandmaster levels of amazing, but it's still really, really, really good.
Definitely.
He's definitely got a lot of good things. I think he went overzealous on the medvacs here. I think he took that a little bit too much to heart. But definitely in a good position for this game.
I do find the Infestor play interesting as a choice to follow up. We're this far behind. I don't necessarily think an Infestor would be the best option.
Yeah, Infestor is not necessarily the best option. It may be if you can get a really fantastic fungal on some Marines and you have Banelings, like that'd be great. But as you're correct, I think your analysis is right. I think absolutely, I don't think it's the right play here. I think because of the number of medvacs he has, I think it'd be really cool to see a Viper, because that would absolutely wreck that.
Parasitic Bomb, there's a little bit of a fungal, but Parasitic Bomb would annihilate that force of medevacs.
Yeah. So if you were to Parasitic Bomb this, I mean that's still a disgusting
nice
fungal.
That is a really nice one.
That is nasty. But just the same, I just don't think he has the supply to be able to deal with this. His army is way smaller.
He put a decent dent in there.
Is he doomed? No, he did not. Okay, but I feel like he should just A-move here. And just
he really could. But a lot of the supply for Izzy, at least what's in this force, is a lot of medevacs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a I think that's what 40 supply of medvacs. I think there are more medvacs than Marines.
Close.
I think he has 14 medvacs to 5 Marines.
Poor Hydras.
So I mean, definitely.
Oh my God!
This is the Doom drop to end all Doom drops.
Izzy coming in with the greatest BM play I think I've seen in a long time.
I don't even know if he's gonna drop. He does.
I was gonna say, please drop that.
Yeah, the Spore Colony definitely going hard here.
The Spore Crawler's saying, "Hey man, I know you made too many of these. I'm gonna just go ahead and clean that up for you."
Yeah, like, just in case you're curious, I feel like this is too much, but that is.
Oh, those Lings cannot do anything to this.
Oh, those Vikings are so strong.
Oh, he scanned.
I think
that's the first time I've seen him scan.
But he did it. But I mean, I'm not gonna say he wins. It's good. He's still at a decent worker count. He's maxed. He's getting upgrades. He definitely has the mechanical aspects of the game at heart.
Definitely.
That's what's in his mind right now. That is nasty. They should just A-move and crush everything.
He even got his Banshees.
There's still a couple more medvacs incoming. I think there's enough healing here. We got this, guys.
Yeah, these Marines, unless they're hitting Banelings, I think they're very safe. Not much else to really add now. We're just kind of waiting for him to say, "All right, GG.
I'm out. GG's.
Let's go into this next game. I got you in the next one."
Maybe some little BM about being friends. Nope, nothing.
No,
just
GG.
Game 1.
Izytang taking game 1. I really like seeing that cycle that Izzy had. And like you said, I agree that he should probably just go ahead and start getting into the habit of adding some more barracks, getting that production up. Because once Terran, even though I don't play them that well, once they hit a certain amount of barracks, they can just keep remaxing.
Mm-hmm. And on the other side of that, I mean, the macro from Izytang was consistent throughout the whole game, whereas Loke had really incredible macro out of the gate, and then it just went to nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
And that initial hit as well just kind of wiped out all of his drones. They were all going to that third.
That was his 4th.
Or he took it as a 3rd, and then his 4th went down as well.
Yeah.
Both of those are where all of his drones were. The giant swell of 16 drones suddenly vanished, and
and so did his lead.
Absolutely. It was looking good at first, but I think if he can stop himself from tunnel visioning right there, should be fine.
I mean, I still think that Liberator was sick.
Yeah, that was a good game.
That Liberator
so
getting
good.
16 kills on its own.
No, the one that was at my base.
No, the Liberator in his base.
Oh, it hit? Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I never even checked it.
Yeah, it had 16 kills.
16 kills. Yeah, neither did he. Yeah, it killed like 40 larvae, a queen, 2 queens, and like 17 or 18 drones. It was ridiculous.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah.
There's only one. I didn't even
Yeah.
see two.
Yeah, no, there's one.
I think I was gonna die.
Untouched. He was like something like 1 queen at a time, so like queens were dying to it. Like.
Yeah, it was like worthwhile Liberator. Definitely served the
Absolutely.
Terran army purposefully. I mean, maybe not purposefully, as we just heard.
Yeah, the Terran Dominion appreciates that Liberator,
Yeah.
Did not realize it was bringing freedom to that zone, but you know what? It's fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hopefully, Loki realizes that there's a
Pending
pending
invitation
invite.
to
Come
play.
on.
It's like StarCraft is like a gentleman's game. I'm asking, would you like to play? This would be very, very nice today.
I would appreciate it if you would honor me with this game of StarCraft.
Yeah, yeah.
The greatest game of chess.
Yeah, it's like we're all like British and Russian. We're all, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the game of StarCraft is a very British game, but everyone who plays it is Russian. It's like Russian roulette. Everyone's got guns. They're trying to point at each other.
Everyone's saying, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna kill you. Oh God, this game, it's a beautiful game.
It is, absolutely. It runs the gamut of feelings. Like earlier today,
Absolutely.
you have the stress the players feel, the excitement the crowd feels. You have the energy of the casters. It's got everything. It's the perfect game.
It really is, and I'm just impressed just how long it's lasted.
Mm-hmm.
I know back when Heart of the Swarm and when we had just switched over to Legacy, seemed a little shaky at first. And then when we went free to play, suddenly there was a huge spike of players, and that was great to see. I was really happy when I did eventually come back.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the move from Blizzard, 100%. That was the right play. But we're getting in here to game number 2. Izytang versus Loke, Terran versus Zerg. Hawks to Fox. Take it away.
All right. In the top right, he's got the blue pieces. He just took game 1. He has a Liberator that loves to destroy everything that he didn't even intend for. It is Izytang.
And in the bottom left, the friendly, unfriendly Zerg. It's Loki.
I love their banter at the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Brings me back to the Wings of Liberty era when they were allowed to talk.
Yes. The days of Idra and Huck.
The days of the BM.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
times.
Combat X. The glory days.
But here we are today. Glorious Legacy of the Void.
Yeah. We literally have robots playing StarCraft.
We do.
Good
we do.
robots.
Yes. Taking out 2 very prominent players. Unfortunately, one of them was a Zerg playing Protoss, but it's fine.
One of them even won WCS. His name is Cyril. He's the best robot there is.
This is true. This is very true. Mr. 1000 APM himself.
Yeah, little do you know, Cyril is in fact Alpha Star. They made him a human body. They worked with Boston Dynamics to create this majestic beast of a StarCraft player. And thus you have Cyril. But they had to do it in, I think Cyril's from Norway, but I'm not certain. Finnish. Close enough.
He is Finnish. He is from Finland.
All right. So
I hope no one saw that.
Probably missed
I have no idea what he meant. It might be a joke. He does that sometimes.
I don't know. I think he's trying to debate Izytang into making a mistake. I don't think it's going to work out, though.
Yeah,
Izytang's solid. He's a consistent player. He's got everything, lined up nicely. And, I mean...
I was kind of expecting that SCV to start dropping something right there. It was sitting there for a while. I'm like, oh, it's
Barracks. Why? To trick you.
We know that you guys think I'm going to go for 3 barracks. I'm going to do 3 barracks, but in his base.
Yeah. He's got enough room for it. I mean, that's one of the things that you don't really see between. I mean, it was a major thing in Wings, at least in Protoss versus Protoss. You saw proxy gateways. You saw them even in the main. Back then, you had the pylon that you could put on the low ground. The gateway's in the main. It's a really nasty build, and you see Terrans do it a lot now today with the proxy barracks. But we don't really. I don't see people taking advantage of that. Like actually in base proxies. Like you can see. On this map, there's a significant amount of room in the main.
Absolutely.
Where you could just build stuff and no one would be the wiser. But nobody's really taking advantage of it right now.
I've seen a couple people, not in a pro level, but just on ladder. I've seen a couple people put a factory right outside their opponent's third and then lift it into their main, especially on this map.
Yeah, do proxy Hellions maybe. That'd be really cool.
I've seen proxy Hellion, proxy Widow Mine.
Yeah.
It can get a little disgusting when you don't realize it. Then suddenly you see that little guy scampering across the ground. And you're like, oh, I'm going to lose a lot, aren't I?
And just to get back in the game here, We still have one base from Izytang. I think he's doing his patented 3 racks build.
He's going
Oh no, it's
for
1-1-1.
the battle cruisers.
He is.
He's
he really?
going for battle
There
cruisers.
is a fusion core. Oh man. I think he's gonna just teleport into the main and try and do as much damage as possible. But
He does love this build.
If we look at Loki's base, do we see any spores up? Is there any kind of indication that he knows this is coming? We have 2 queens,
I don't
3
think he
queens,
has
no
any
spores.
idea.
This is gonna do a tremendous amount of damage. The main thing that that Izytang's gotta do here is survive.
And unsupply block himself.
That's
That's another big
even
thing.
Maru gets it. It happens at tournaments. People get get nerves. So
He's on
we
his
can
way
kinda
though. He's
forgive
getting
him.
there.
You can forgive him for that. But if Loki doesn't do anything here, there's going to be a battle cruiser in his
I
main.
really wish that we could see Loki float an Overlord in right now, but
Yeah.
unfortunately none of them are really in position. We have that one on the main, or on the natural, one sitting there on the main, but
The battle cruiser
No idea.
begins. It's starting to become operational.
I hear he's calling in the fleet.
He is. The fleet's coming. Winter is coming.
Winter's
so is the
nah,
fleet.
It's the fleet.
Oi.
He is. Does he have a 6th sense? Because I don't think he scouted that at all. But we have spore crawlers coming down. A lot of spore crawlers
We
coming
do.
down.
I don't.
I think he may have realized because there's no expansion
That might be. Yeah.
that
might be
something is happening here.
Yeah, I mean it is quite strange. I mean I'm a little bit surprised because he's doing this kind of Baneling bust. It's a little bit maybe Sixth Sensey, but maybe he knows as he tanks builds. You kind of gotta get a feel for what he does.
He is looking for the siege tank. He knows. All right.
The first thing I would say is okay. Well, he sees a siege tank. I would say well, there's probably not battle cruisers, right? If there's a siege tank, why would you build battle cruisers?
However, this is Izytang.
Correct.
And like I said before, these two are practice buddies. They like to play against each other a lot.
Is the battle cruiser going to immediately?
Oh,
there it
he's
goes.
going in. And there's
There it
only one
goes.
spore at this one.
One spore.
It's going to focus that down because they auto-target that. Going to move out of the way and start going after those.
There we
drones
go.
on that side.
Drones are going to
Here
just
we
get
go.
murdered at this point.
Oh,
but he
but the
does have
queens.
queens. I don't know
No
how many
transfuse,
things it
unfortunately.
requires. He doesn't have Yamato yet, but it should maybe be started.
Oh, the Baneling bus goes through, but it kills.
A barracks.
the barracks.
That's about it. This seems like it's a really good position for Izytang.
This really
Absolutely. If he kills this queen, and then I mean he could just sit above the base right now and prevent a whole base from mining.
is. It will be very difficult for him to get into the main with that battle cruiser with how many spore crawlers are sitting there.
Yeah,
But
but he could just hold position and he'd be in a good spot.
oh, spore crawler is moving.
Yep, and on the other side of the map, you do have another battlecruiser in production, and unfortunately, it's still targeting the Spore Crawler. One of the changes that happened in a previous patch is just really nerfing.
And it's gonna go down.
Yeah, it's nerfing Izytang at this point.
Absolutely, but
On the other side of the map, you have all of these lings just getting slaughtered. So if he can very easily pressure out here, I feel like Izytang's in a really great spot. He's up 9 workers, has enough of a bank to be able to proceed from here. He's got a
Absolutely.
3rd battlecruiser in production. No, which is the
it's
second?
still that second one.
But he's got enough room to do whatever he wants. I'm
He does
surprised.
got the Alpha Star supply
Yeah,
on.
he does. I'm surprised he hasn't taken his other gas. I mean, he's got it, but there's nothing mining there. I think that's probably going to hurt him in the long run here because he does have double starport with Tech Labs. So I feel like he's going to realize it eventually. Be like, where's all my gas? And then he'll be like, oh man, I made a mistake.
I would really like to see Loki just kind of pull back a little bit, start focusing on, okay, I need to get corruptors out, because if he's going to keep going for battle cruisers, he needs to have some kind of counter for it.
Absolutely.
He is going for the Hydras, though.
Yeah, he
So-
did do a tremendous drone round. So I mean, he's trying to set himself up for that late game. He's trying to get, I mean, even in the mid game at this point. But he's trying to set himself up. But I don't know if he has enough time. It depends on how much pressure Izytang is willing to kind of push out.
Now, I don't think the battlecruiser initially did that much damage as far as
No, I don't
it could
think
have done a lot more.
Absolutely, he could be up 20 workers at this point.
Because it looks like most of the losses is just that giant swell of Lings and Banes.
Yeah, I mean, Izytang could be up 20 workers at this point, but it's really focusing those drones which really makes the difference.
Absolutely. I do like that he also has his Banshee.
Well,
He does love those banshees.
Yeah, he did notice that, you know, there were a tremendous number of spores. You know, maybe going in is not necessarily the best idea. Let's try and
Yeah.
play a little bit more safe. Take a second, maybe even take a third. Definitely making good calls, but just, you know, I wish I could see a little bit more pressure because he definitely has his battle cruiser. It has the ability to do a lot of damage. He could be moving around looking for overlords. He can be, you know, clearing off creep.
He could also be annoying that third base that's
Yeah.
just finished up.
But otherwise, I think it's pretty consistent. I mean, his production's still going. It's not like he's all stopped. It's not like there's nothing happening. It's still continuing.
It's a pretty interesting unit composition, though. I don't know if the Hellions were a mistake. He did go ahead and make 2 of those.
It might have been when your hotkeying factories. I
Yeah.
think for default it's A for Hellion, and I think it's the same thing
I believe so, yes.
for Marine. So it might have been that.
Or no, it's E.
Is it
That's
E
the
for Hellion?
default. Yes.
Oh. What's Widowmine then?
Widowmine is... What do they have Widowmine as?
W, baby?
I don't think... I don't remember. I'll have to look at that afterwards, if I remember to.
Yeah. So, regardless, we're going to see another pressure here. It's not a huge pressure. I wouldn't expect it to kill Loki, but we'll see what happens. There's not a lot of units on the map for him.
Donates the Hellion, but this is fine.
Yeah,
He will be able to take out both of these queens. Oh, the battlecruiser jumped in as well.
Good. It's going ham on the
All of these lings are just going to go ahead and clean that up.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't even think those Hydras can kill this single battle cruiser.
Yeah, that's not enough Hydras to take out this battlecruiser.
Especially if it's still moving. I mean, he's going to go over. He's going to get trapped by
he
spores.
is going to target the spore.
And unfortunately, he doesn't have Yamato, so he can't just one-shot the spore
Yeah.
crawler.
Now the Hydras have more of a chance. Oh, the transfuse.
The transfuse.
The
There's 2
transfuse.
transfuses. Pretty
Oh, and he
sick,
gets
and he
it.
loses it. I mean, I'm actually thinking that Loki's in a really good position here.
He's definitely come back from that. Just donating all of those units at the beginning. But now I think he's much better off than he was. I also would like to see Baneling speed start getting produced. Ooh,
And he even
nice
gets the
pick.
cancel. That's great. That's a fantastic spot to be in. Getting that cancel is huge because obviously he can get a feeling for how Izytang's like kind of where his game sense is, what he wants to do, and that cancel is huge because it stops any kind of suspicion of expanding.
Oh, the Banelings take out all of the Marines.
That is disgusting. That's one of those things where, you know, you look away from your map for a second.
And then suddenly your entire
Yeah,
ball of
the-
Marines is just,
Your whole army's gone. You're like, oh man.
where'd all my supply go?
Yeah, seriously. So he's taking that. He knows he can take this third again. He did get a pretty good clear on those Banelings. I mean, he did lose a lot, of course, but he knows that army's gone. There's nothing to follow it up with. Otherwise, they'd be flooding in at this moment.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, Loki's supply is fantastic. His worker count is actually really, really good. And that's one of the things we noticed last game, that he can definitely get the worker count, but it's a matter of spending that money on anything, which seems to be the problem for him. So hopefully here, you know, we see a tremendous spike and go up to 200 supply, like, really fast.
He is going into the Corruptors. I think he's just going to go ahead and Brute Tech. The Hive just finished as well.
Yeah, I think we're about to see some Brood Lords and some Corruptors. I'd hope to maybe see a Viper, but we'll
Why
see.
is he making another Spire? Is he
Double
going for the double
upgrades.
upgrades?
Double upgrades.
All right.
But
He has the money for it, so I mean, he can get away. That, I think,
that's
was
a
a misclick. I've
There's-
done that plenty of times.
No, next time we're going to see a single Nidus.
Yeah,
And it's
we're
going to be like,
You're going to be like, oh.
yeah, it's the next level place.
The
He's
big brain plays.
Really doing multi-prong attacks.
Oh, we got the crack upgrade.
Crackling
Adrenal
is all
gland.
the way. But we do have a pretty big push here from Izytang, and his supply is definitely bigger. He has a decent unit comp against what Loki has. Loki really only has Corruptors. So this should still be able to do a significant amount of damage. And if he gets the siege here and gets this
Oh, but the siege tanks aren't sieging up at all. He's just going to try to...
Yep.
Yeah, he's
All
still
right.
fine. He's still
Perfect. Perfect. You should get it. He should get another kill here on this base. Hopefully, he can
I
get.
would hope he would just go ahead and Maynard his workers away.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I think most of them are going to... Oh, they're
They're
attack
gonna
moving.
attacking. No, this was a mistake. Don't move the Marines into that. No, the Marines are dead too. That's 22 workers lost. It's a huge hit. Loki was in a fantastic
But these
position.
lings are on move command. These siege tanks are just
They're
volley
going.
after volley. I really hope he cancels that queen. Corruptor's coming in and being a little bit BM on the
Yeah,
orbital
that single
command.
turret's trying to save the day.
That little guy is finally getting his moment of glory. He's been spinning around the entirety of this game.
And the Corruptors aren't actually going to get it. They're just going to die. That is unlucky. But
Oh,
wait,
the entire medevac got
the
killed.
medvac. Oh, poor medvac. We loved you.
Those poor Marines thought, let's hop in here, boys. We got the... Oh, never mind. We are dead.
Yeah.
124 lings dead so far. Yikes.
Yikes.
About 3,000 off from each other as far as losses goes. Could be worse. It's not terrible, but definitely has thrown away a lot of supply.
I mean, he's trying to rebuild. He's trying to get it back, but it's the same kind of position he was in last game. He definitely has the money. It's just a matter of figuring out what to spend it on. I think is his issue at this point.
It does seem that he is going to go ahead and get the Greater Spire. Special effects. Drop it. Apologies for that. We're getting
That's not it.
that's not it.
That's not it. We have a little bit of technical difficulty here on the caster bench.
Does that help at all?
I think so. Can you
Yeah, a
mute
little bit.
it fully, and we'll check that. That's
Yep, that's it.
Whatever that is.
Yep, it's the end game.
I mean, that's like the map. That's the entire everything though. Should I just keep it all muted?
That's fine for now.
We're good for right now. We'll figure it out.
We can figure it out after the game. But let's get back to
But
this.
we have a nice little push with a Thor coming in. Those Thors, they do outrange now against Broodlords if
Yeah.
he goes into a high-impact payload.
And these drones are all going to get murdered. We're about to see
Oh, that
all
was
of that.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Banelings, we've seen what they've done so far.
Yep. I mean, so one of the nice things is Izytang still consistent. Still got that 61 workers. Still, spending his money on the right units. He's definitely has the right things. The one thing I would see that's really different from last game is that he decided to not go the medvac route. I feel like it's a little bit of a mistake here, but I'm not gonna. I think it works for him.
It still is working out. It's not that big of a loss as far as how much he's put himself behind as far as losing extra worker or extra Marines, but
Yeah, but
he's still doing fine.
I actually think that Loki is about to be in a fantastic position. I mean, once these Broodlords finish, he's got 9 Broodlords.
If those Broodlords finish up right now,
I think,
and he's not on high impact, so he's not doing the extra damage.
yeah, I think he's actually in a really good spot. I think he's gonna be able to clear this, and actually, he might win the game off of this, depending on how well.
The Marines are coming in, and
Depending on how well Izytang responds to this,
but this is
because those are some
That-
pretty strong Broodlings. I think
Yes,
they're
they
like
are. Those
1-1,
are-
and then I even think they have. And remember, these are only 4 of them. There are 5 more somewhere else in the
they're-
map.
What does he have up in that top?
Those look like overlords.
He's
I
attacking his
think.
own base.
No,
those are
Broodlords.
He just attacked his own base with broodlings. That was a slight misclick.
Broodlings OP.
Yeah, they said, you know what? I don't like that hatchery.
Yeah, they're like, we're not for the swarm anymore. We're done. We're moving on. I mean, we do see Izytang trying to take a 4th base. I think he's trying to take this before.
Broodlords are moving in now.
But I think we're going to see a multi-prong attack here. I think that's-
Multi-prong brood attack.
This is some next level plays. He's
But
going to try and deal with
The amount of
this.
Thors is
That is
no.
any Vikings and there are no
Oh,
Corruptors. That's about to
no.
be gone. But he's still going to get a base. He's still going to get
Yeah,
one
he
of the bases.
still will get the base. That's still a nice pick. Oh, and he kind of got distracted attacking the Overlord. And no matter where he went, that was going down.
And he even gets the Thor. That's still a decent pickup. I would expect him to pull back here and try and peel apart the army supply of Izytang.
Yeah. We got a little bit of an attack, but I think honestly Loki's still in a good position.
Yeah, I mean their
Sitting on
worker
the-
counts are fairly similar.
But that is a lot of Vikings.
That is a lot of
That
Vikings.
is a
I
lot of
mean,
Vikings.
I feel like Izytang could just pressure at this point and just
Yeah.
walk through the army. And he's done that a couple times here, but it's never really felt like it's just been his whole force. It always feels like, oh, maybe it's 30, 40 supply.
He does have 30 workers on that planetary. On the mass repair.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you've never seen a mass repair before, this is why it's frustrating to try and kill Terran bases. They just don't die. And it's even worse because I don't know if this is the case, but I think you can actually like hold position your workers and it stops the broodlings from actually hitting.
You can.
So
if you get a complete surround with your SCVs and you just hold position, they have to chew through the SCV first.
Yeah,
picking off a couple banelings. That's a nice little
nice little
touch.
pickup here. And I mean, I'd expect to see a pretty big push here from Izytang just to kind of end this game. But because the supply is at 60 supply difference, he should be able to just walk in here and kill any Zerg bases that he likes.
Yeah, regrouping with his single Banshee. Gonna go ahead and just take out that. It seems like he likes to take these bases and then Izzy just kind of lets them sit for a while. Notice now this is the second game that we've seen him do that.
Mm-hmm. He picks off tons of bases. He kills so many bases. Even the last game. This game and last game, like all he does is kill bases, but it feels like he gets stuck.
Yeah.
Right? He kind of stops the pressure, and then Loki can remax for a little bit, and then he's got to fight into another army. But it never feels like the pressure pushes and continues, and he never takes kind of advantage of it.
There's so much anti-air here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is over. I think he's about to walk in here, about to see GG in a couple seconds here. This is a pretty powerful force, and I don't think there's anything that Loki can do to stop this.
I like the idea going with the Corruptors into the Broodlord tech, but I really would have liked to see a Viper. Using that parasitic bomb would have made a huge difference with that giant flock of Vikings.
Yeah. And he's walking in here. I mean, the medvacs are taking damage. The spores are doing their best. This kind of feels like a last-ditch effort from Loki, but the supply is different. It's 109 of different.
Yeah, this is definitely GG. The expansion the natural is dead. Next, all he has to do is walk up that ramp, and
yeah, we might see a little bit more friendly-unfriendly Zerg play here.
Yeah, I think he's gonna hold out as long as he can. And be like, nah, we're staying in this game.
He's like, I think this is his knockout round. So I think it's absolutely the correct play. He's trying to stay in. He's trying to push his way through. I don't think it's going to change the course of history at this point.
Yeah, with 161 to 44 while supply blocked, and now he's just moving the drones in, and they get a pick off, so they can die happy.
Drones are strong. They got a Viking. That is not something.
These are the strongest drones I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all of his friends just got brutally murdered, but it's fine.
It's okay. He's gonna keep pushing. He's gonna that unit lost.
That is painful.
That's depressing. That's a lot of Zerglings.
That's an F in the chat, boys.
Yeah. Yeah. PogChamp for Izytang here, because this is a good game. And it's the main thing about Izytang is that he is consistent.
He is very consistent.
His macro is consistent, even if it's not necessarily Grandmaster caliber, it is absolutely consistent. He has every single aspect of the game well understood. Mechanically he's solid, macro he's solid, micro he's solid, strategically he's solid, and he's got a really good depth of the game. But on the other side of this, you have Loki, who absolutely has the mechanical capabilities, absolutely has the strategic capabilities, but maybe just in execution
he's
it's
taking
not
a hidden
there.
base. Loki is staying in this. He's saying, I'm going to make you work for this.
This is BioIce versus Juggernaut Jason all over again.
We're running that back. All right. Everyone strap in. We got 6 hours and 30 minutes to go.
Oi. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whatever. Something was... there's a
single
lone
corruptor.
The lone
urinating
corruptor.
on that lone planetary.
Yeah. Poor Walker, Texas Ranger. Uh-oh.
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 Production
back.
difficulties.
I don't know what happened.
It's okay. The missile turret is still being built. It's successfully getting there.
The missile turret's up.
Oh,
Run, Corruptor, run!
He micros it away successfully. That Corruptor always being sneaky. So Izytang going to move up here. Going to catch that hidden base. Absolutely going to get it.
I do think it's funny that he's just leaving the main base.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the priority. But
I know it's 15-38 for Loki, but
Yeah, I think he's just
That
trying to
lone
get enough.
corruptor floating his way
He
back.
does only have 2 more drones, so there is no more possibility of hidden expansions. No more possibility of well, maybe there is.
Look at all those drones.
But
He's got plenty of opportunity as long as that army doesn't move a little bit south.
I think he's going to do
Oh,
extractors.
it's moving south. Oh no.
Oh, no. I think there's going to be some extractor play here in a bit.
Oh no. Oh god. Oh no. They're all dead.
Those are some
Run.
sad drones.
Run.
I feel bad for the swarm at this point.
He does have 3.
No, there's a
2
broodlord.
remaining.
There's a broodlord coming.
This single.
He's standing over him.
What is he doing?
Well, if you guys can't see this at the analyst desk, Loki has gotten out of his chair.
And is
He's
currently
now,
standing over.
He's getting BM'd by the guy standing behind him. Definitely a disqualifying move, but it's okay. They're all friends here.
Izytang
GG is called
taking
Izytang, taking it
2-0.
2-0. A long game, but definitely one that's worthy of a VOD.
Absolutely.
Thank you for